Well, if you're looking for bands or beers, North St. Mary Street is the place to go. The Strip is synonymous with San Antonio nightlife. But we talked today with a developer who has some ideas for something a little different. For these parcels in between some well-known spots like the Mix down here, Brass Monkey, favorite of mine up top. Now they want to keep this area busy just during a different time of day.
The St. Mary Strip can be a busy place, but mostly once the sun's gone down.
What we want to do with this project is activate it during the daytime.
George Womack is the head of Headwall Investments, which has plans to renovate or maybe expand some older homes on the Strip for new businesses.
They need some love, but at the same time, a lot of that adds character to it.
A site plan shows possible retail, a restaurant, and a coffee shop.
What is it you're trying to bring?
Yeah, so really just walkability for the residents in the area. We really want something that when you drive by it, you see it and you're thinking, man, whatever I'm doing right now, I'd rather be there.
It's those driving customers that seem to drive concern during the zoning deliberations. Part of the development includes a parking lot back toward neighboring homes.
They aren't the best petri dish for the nighttime activity that goes on around there.
Parking can be a sore issue because of the packed weekend nights. The local councilwoman, though, says they worked out a compromise.
It includes an 8-foot masonry wall to protect the residents there, as well as the parking lot will have a gate and it will close at midnight.
Womack confirmed the midnight gate closure and the wall, though it would just be along part of the lot. He said the point is for parking to be for the customers of the new businesses, not nearby bars.
Most private businesses, when you pull up to the parking lot, it says towing enforced for patrons only.
Though city staff recommended against rezoning for the parking area, the city council granted it last month. Womack says construction on the project could start in the spring to summer of next year.
Now, part of the reason we don't know exactly when it will start is they're still trying to find tenants for some of these new buildings, and that will inform how they actually go about renovating them.
She refuses to go quietly. Kate Rogers says that political pressure forced her to resign as the president of the Alamo Trust.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
We want to caution the public that what you will hear on these calls is distressing.
Yeah, Kerrville police are getting ready to release 911 calls placed during the deadly Hill Country floods. Coming up, when we can expect those and how each one was reviewed by police.
There could be some very light rain for your morning commute, but it's all going to be moving out later today. We're going to get a great weekend. We'll show it to you coming up.
And we know a lot of folks are making their holiday weekend shopping or dining plans on the northwest side, but we have got another round of construction to tell you about. But there is good news on the horizon. We're going to break it all down for you as you get set for the holiday season. All right, and a good morning to everyone out there. Happy Friday.
Yes.
We've made it to the end of the work week. Welcome to Good Morning San Antonio. Margie Marcus.
And I am Daphne Gray, and obviously yesterday was a bit damp. Today we're still dealing with a little bit of precipitation. Not as cold though. Meteorologist Justin Horn with our weather authority coming in. Hey, we're shaping up for a beautiful weekend.
We truly are. The weather's going to be great both Saturday and Sunday. We just got to get through this morning, and really honestly, the rain has been so light this morning, I don't think it's going to be much of an issue for your morning commute. So that's a bit of a change to our thinking, and not a bad thing, I suppose. Let's go over to look outside, and we do have cloudy skies right now. We are still detecting some very light returns on radar. So this amounts to, again, some sprinkles, some very light showers. You really probably won't have to use your windshield wipers all that much. It's just a little too dry at the surface for any of this to be heavy at all. And temperatures right now 45. Now the wind chill is 42. It is chilly out there. 44 in New Braunfels, 41 the wind chill there, 46 in Converse, 41 right now in Bernie. Cloudy skies with a little bit of light rain being reported. Your bus stop forecast for those of you getting up really early this morning on Friday. Yes, very light showers, cloudy this morning, temperatures in the mid 40s. But by this afternoon, it's possible we can see even a few peaks of sun, which we get temperatures into the mid 50s. Not bad. As we get into the afternoon hours. And then tomorrow, Even better, we'll get sun on your Saturday. That'll push temperatures into the low 70s tomorrow. 73 is the forecast high for your Saturday. Good weather on Sunday, too. And really, much of next week. We've also got the drought monitor that has come in, and we're going to show that to you and show you where we stand drought-wise coming up in just a couple minutes. Jeff?
All right, in just a few hours, the Kerrville Police Department will be releasing 911 calls from that catastrophic July 4th floods that happened in the Hill Country. And a video posted on Facebook, Kerrville Police Chief Chris McCall warning the public that what this entails should you come across any of the more than 400 calls that they took in the early morning hours that day.
First of all, I'd like to share that the information about to be released will be difficult for some families and those impacted by the flood to hear. We want to caution the public that what you will hear on these calls is distressing. Some callers did not survive.
8 media outlets, including KSAT, filed open records requests for the release of these calls. The Kerrville Police Department said that each call was reviewed in regard to caller privacy and legal compliance. We have not received them yet, but our Zaria Oates is in Kerrville this morning. We'll get an update from her coming up at 6 a.m. And once we get those calls, we will go through them and report any new findings here and on KSAT.com.
Hey there, good morning. I'm Patty Santos. We are expecting new information later today from the family of the Texas A&M student Brianna Aguilera. She fell from a 17-story apartment balcony back on Friday night into Saturday morning, and attorneys for her parents are scheduled to have a news conference at 1 o'clock today in Houston. Now, KSAT has been on top of this story on Monday, since Monday, when Brianna's mom told us directly that Austin police were initially refusing to investigate Brianna's death. In a news conference yesterday, Austin police now said that they found a suicide note and other evidence indicating self-harm. Her mother refusing that claim, accusing Austin police of ignoring key evidence and saying there is no way that her daughter would take her own life. She's also been responding to public comments on Facebook saying she believes there is a cover-up. Now, this can be very difficult to hear, but we want you to know that if you or someone you know is struggling, you are not alone. You can reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by calling or texting 988 or using the chat box at 988lifeline.org. You can text MHA to 741-741 to reach the crisis text line. Again, that news conference is expected at 1 o'clock today, and you can download the KSAT app to stay updated on the latest headlines regarding this story. Reporting live this morning, I'm Patty Santos.
Well, thank you very much for that, Patty. Well, this morning, KSAT is working to get more information about a person who died by suicide in the parking lot of the Veterans Hospital at the medical center. Right now, we're working to confirm the military status of this person. Now, KSAT typically does not report on suicides, but we did in this case because it happened in a high traffic area, again, around the medical center. Something similar also happened back in April when a veteran shot and killed himself in front of the same Audie L. Murphy Memorial Veterans Hospital. A spokesperson with the South Texas Veterans Healthcare System says the medical center remains open and secure. Now, if you or someone you know are experiencing a mental health crisis, there is a number that you can call for help. It is 988.
And we're learning more about a federal raid at a North Side club where more than 140 people were taken into custody. The Texas Department of Public Safety sent us a portion of a report detailing what happened. And according to those records, agents found cocaine, MDMA, marijuana, cash, and 3 handguns at the raid. Last week, federal agents said 51 of the people had links to the Tren de Aragua gang. The warrant says that several of those suspected gang members were believed to be selling drugs at the club.
Well, it's just been about 24 hours since Senate Bill 8, known as the bathroom bill, went into effect across the state of Texas. It requires people in certain facilities to use the bathroom according to the sex that they were assigned at birth. So we've covered how this is affecting universities, and now we're looking at how it will impact domestic violence shelters. The Bexar County Battered Women's and Children's Shelter is one of the 90 in the state that gets funding from the Texas Health and Human Services Commission, which means that they're required to comply with Senate Bill 8. This is something that they are already doing, since they do not just serve women. The bill refers to shelters meant just for women. The shelter here in San Antonio protects women, children, and men that are suffering abuse. A shelter director told us that men are not housed within the main shelter.
Maybe in a separate room on site. They may be in our cottages, which are transitional housing rooms on our site, but not within the shelter itself. There's also the opportunity to partner with local hotels.
All right, well, we checked in with other local shelters in our region, a lot of them receiving this type of funding. Many say that, like the Safer Path Family Violence Shelter in Pleasanton, they also don't just serve women, so their rooms and bathrooms are already separated by gender. Other smaller spaces, like the Crisis Center up in Comal County, said that they would make room adjustments for the next few months before their new, bigger shelter opens with more private bathrooms. Okay, the U.S. Supreme Court says that Texas can hold next year's elections using that redistricting map, which right now is favoring more Republicans. So this all comes after a lower court said the map might discriminate against voters based on race. Texas asked for a quick decision because qualifying has already started and the primary is set for March. The map, which was pushed by by President Donald Trump, was designed to give Republicans 5 more House seats and keep their majority. To counter those moves, though, California voters approved a ballot initiative to give Democrats an additional 5 seats there, but the Trump administration is suing to block those new California maps. Okay, also on Capitol Hill here, the Navy Admiral is pushing back against claims that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issued a kill them all order. So this all comes after that video showed U.S. forces striking an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean and killing 2 survivors. Admiral Frank Mitch Bradley told lawmakers there was no such order, though he faced some pretty tough questions in a series of classified briefings. Now, Republican Senator Tom Cotton is defending the Admiral, but Democrats, who again looked at that video that you're looking at right there, say the incident is deeply disturbing. All right, the Spurs coming off a magical win against Orlando in Florida the other night. The Spurs are going to be back in action tonight. They'll be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Midwest. Tip-off set for 6:30 p.m. Go Spurs go as they look for win number 16 on the new season. Okay, all right. Things starting to get a little bit busy on our roads right now as we take a look at our citywide map. And again, we're taking a look specifically at the traffic situation on the northeast side of town. But first of all, let's take you over to the east side where we are seeing an incident out there that I believe is in the clearing stages. So this is going to be 410 and 35 over here by Benzingelman Road, and it is in the clearing stages. This was reported by TxDOT earlier in the morning, so we're good to go there. And let's focus back in on the northeast side of town because we did have a crash over 35 Engel Road over by Schwab up towards the New Braunfels area. Traffic around the Live Oak area seeing some delays. We'll continue to track everything and give you the latest updates as we get them. Justin, how are we looking out there?
Well, it is cloudy with a few sprinkles out there at this hour as we go outside with live cam. Temperature is still in the mid-40s. Here is the setup. We still got some good moisture coming in from the Pacific, but clouds will eventually go away. We'll show you when and just how warm temperatures will get this weekend coming up.
Millions of families are celebrating the holidays, but for those with terminally ill children, the season can feel very different. Coming up, how University Health's Women and Children's Hospital is providing layers of support to help families live through the hardest moments.
And the Bexar County Sheriff's Office has been targeting crimes including prostitution, drugs, and gangs. Up next, we're going to be riding along with Operation Police Navidad and show you how this all works. 5:14, welcome back. While the holidays may not be so jolly for people that were caught up in a local crackdown known as Operation Police Navidad. For weeks, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office has been targeting crimes including prostitution, drugs, and gangs.
And Katrina Weber shows us this undercover operation played out in plain sight.
We can't show you his face or tell you his name, but this Bexar County Sheriff's detective is part of a team targeting crimes out on the streets.
Looking for any hand-to-hand transactions, narcotic activity, any other prostitution.
We rode along as he acted as eyes of the operation known as Police Navidad. He's watching for locations where drugs might be sold.
Car wash or gas station or stuff like that, and people just flock to it and you see it.
And and keeping an eye out for those trying to buy sex.
There was a complaint of activity going on here, and even though it's in the city of San Antonio city limits, we will still get involved.
The sheriff's office started this crackdown weeks ago and has made arrests all over town, including these men accused of soliciting prostitution. On this day, undercover female detectives play the role along Austin Highway, working through the rain and cold. But nearby is a whole team waiting to swoop in when things get hot.
It's really important for the guys that are providing cover and monitoring them to be reactive.
The day, though, gets off to a slow start.
These operations are definitely unpredictable. Some days they can hit pay dirt, while on others, something as simple as the weather, like the rain we're having, can interfere.
After more than 2 hours, an interaction with the female undercovers leads to the first arrest.
This gentleman here approached one of them, and they made a deal on him for sex for $50.
Once driving a company truck, he's loaded into a sheriff's van for a ride to jail. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
5:15 right now. Millions of families are looking forward to celebrating this holiday season, surrounding a Christmas tree with presents and good food. But sadly, that's not the reality for some families with terminally ill children. However, at University Health Hospital, there are several layers of care in their Women's and Children's Hospital that could help them have a better tomorrow. Dr. Hema Seward is the inpatient medical director of pediatric and parental support teams. She says that their goal is to provide the best options for families as far as continuity, resources such as chaplains, and so much more. She says that they don't see this level of palliative care for the terminally ill as end-of-life care, but as making sure families are living well as long as they can.
We don't replace anybody. We're just that extra layer. And so a lot of times, like I mentioned, these patients will have 5, 6, 7 subspecialists that are all focused on different organ systems. And that's, they are experts in that organ system. What we like to do is to take a step back and to think about the child as a whole. Recognize, like I said, that there are more than just their diagnosis, and that every life experience plays a role in the decision making that family is going to be making.
Coming up at 6:12, you're going to meet one of those families and the strongest little girl that I've ever met in my entire life. Battling a disorder so rare, her journey is literally spearheading future medical research.
All right, 5:17. Well, we know that a lot of folks are obviously counting down the days of Christmas as we get set for the holiday season. Take a look at this calendar right here. This is the brand new TechStock calendar. It released it last week, actually, to show you some of the closures that we're going to be seeing over the holiday season, especially on the northwest side. So basically what you need to know this weekend right here will be kind of the wrapping things up when it comes to our major closures. But you see all this green right here? That means that things are going to be smooth sailing out there. So I met with TechStock spokesperson Jennifer Serold, who told me that this weekend, again, will be the last weekend for major closures. Both lanes of I-10 will be closed starting tonight through the weekend. But after Monday morning, drivers will be able to get through the interchange with no major construction concerns.
After this weekend, we will just have nightly closures for the next week and a half. And another way we're being flexible with the businesses is that those nightly closures will start at 11 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. Those major closures are coming towards an end since we have opened 7 of the 8 flyovers here at the interchange.
Okay, so when we did that interview, we got some new video of the interchange out there on the far northwest side of town. Again, TechStot says that they hope it to open the 8th flyover now by the middle of next year, and that's going to be over by Topgolf and the Andretti's, also that auto area over on the far northwest side of town. So again, pretty cool stuff going on out there. But one thing to know, again, I-10 both directions, that will be closed, and then there will be some alternating closures over by 1604 for all of our folks on the northwest side. But that's it. After this weekend, we're good to go if you need to head out to the Rim or the shops at La Cantera. All right, 35 Olympia Parkway, seen some delays right here for our folks coming south past the Live Oak area, but see some flashing lights out there. Right now, traffic is not really being affected at this moment. 35 over here by 410. Again, we did clear out that accident from overnight. So we're good to go here for all of our drivers headed over to Salado Junction, also the Benz Engelman area. Take a look at that. Kind of adjusted, showing some activity out there. So we'll continue to track the very latest on the east side and check in with Alex. throughout the rest of our 5 o'clock hour. But for now, let's go to Weather Authority meteorologist Justin Horn for a check of the forecast today. Justin, we got the 5K for the marathon later.
We do, and it looks like weather's going to cooperate. And good news, RJ, I think the morning commute, we had discussed maybe it being pretty wet this morning. And while we are going to see some sprinkles and some light showers, I don't think the impacts are really going to be all that great because everything here is just so very light. We have some drier air at the surface, and some of this just evaporates before it hits the ground, and you just don't get the impacts that you would if it were just more of a steady rain, which we are not seeing. So the authority radar shows, yes, we are still seeing some of these light returns, which you may still have to use your windshield wipers. I just don't think we're going to see a lot of slick roads. And hey, that's not a bad thing. And this is certainly not the kind of rain that will fill up your rain gauge. But as we look out over the airport, some light rain was being reported last hour. We're at 45 degrees, 44 New Braunfels, 46 Converse. Light north wind, so there is a bit of a wind chill. Feels like 42 here in town, feels like 41 in New Braunfels at this hour. And temperatures today should make their way up into the mid-50s. Now the question, I think, is do the clouds thin out enough? We're certainly not going to see blue skies, but if the high clouds can thin out a little bit, we may see some sun trying to shine through, and that would get temperatures up into the mid-50s, which is a little warmer than what we were dealing with yesterday afternoon. RJ mentioned the 5K run. That's this evening, 7 o'clock. Temperatures will be in the 50s. We're going to call for mostly cloudy skies and light and variable winds. Pretty good running conditions. For the half and full marathon, which of course is Sunday, that says Saturday, I should say Sunday at 7:15. We'll see temperatures in the 50s, winds out of the west-northwest at 10 to 15, so it will be a little bit breezy for those runners. Here's the setup. We've got a good flow of Pacific moisture, high-level moisture, and that's why we're seeing those sprinkles this morning. This pattern does change. The slow moves away. These clouds clear out, and we will get some pretty good weather by the weekend. In fact, skies will clear. This is 5 o'clock today. You see some of the thinning clouds, and then as we get into tomorrow, the sun pops out and temperatures will be plenty warm, 73 on your Saturday here in San Antonio, and we'll get low 70s on Sunday. A little cooler Monday behind a frontal boundary, but really all in all next week looks good too. And coming up next half hour, we will take a look at the drought monitor, which came in yesterday. That obviously not such great news. All right, I know my friend RJ stayed up and watched the Cowboys last night, so my question is about the Cowboys. Since 1996, how many times have the Dallas Cowboys made the playoffs?
Wow. Oh, that's a no-brainer.
That's 29 seasons that we're talking about. Is it 6 times, 9 times, 13 times, or 17 times? Of course, in 1996, they won a Super Bowl, right? Or at least the January of that year. So starting with the 1996 season and beyond, how many times have they made the postseason?
Ooh.
Apparently, no one.
Well, whatever it is, I don't think we're going to add to that total this year after last night's loss.
Yes.
All right, 5:22 right now, 45 degrees outside.
Okay, Amazon, let's talk about them. They may break up with the post office, and President Donald Trump says that he wants some cute Japanese mini trucks on U.S. roads. This story coming up next.
In today's Tech Bites, will Amazon send a breakup letter to the Postal Service? According to the Washington Post, the e-commerce giant may stop using the agency for deliveries and may build its own rival shipping network. Talks to continue their partnership have reportedly stalled. President Trump is giving the green light for Japan's K trucks to be made and sold in the U.S. Trump says he authorized the transportation secretary to approve production of the tiny trucks he describes as really cute, but they'll need to iron out some regulations to move forward. Finally, Elon Musk says the latest version of Tesla's self-driving software allows owners to text while driving. Musk says it's allowed depending on the context of surrounding traffic. Only problem, texting while driving is illegal in just about every state. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Sophie Flay. Have a great day.
Coming up on 5:30 right now. Again, happy Friday, and thanks so much for sticking around with us on GMSA. 45 degrees outside. Not
yes,
bad.
well, it is, a little bit chilly, but not too bad. I know a lot of folks are getting ready for the 5K, and we've got a big marathon weekend as well, Jeff.
We do, and I know meteorologist Justin Horn with our Weather Authority is planning all that out, shaping things up for a beautiful weekend.
Yeah, it is going to get so much nicer this weekend, guys. We still do have a few light showers on Authority radar this morning. This is all really light stuff. I mean, we're talking sprinkles. So that's kind of the change to the forecast. We were expecting maybe just a bout of light rain. We're getting some of that, but it's just not heavy enough to really have huge impacts on our morning commute. And that, again, is not a bad thing. But we'll continue to see these off and on very light showers coming through. And so you may briefly want an umbrella, but I doubt you'll really need it all that much. Spotty light showers through, I'd say, about noontime. And then we'll see, actually, we could even see some clearing into the afternoon. So we'll call it mostly cloudy. That would get temperatures up into the mid-50s. And that's going to start our warming up process. And yes, by the weekend, 73 Saturday, 71 on Sunday. A little breezy on Sunday, but not a big deal. And we'll get some pretty nice weather both days. So it looks good. If you're going to be out and about, of course, marathon going on Sunday, all looks good there as well. As promised, the drought monitor is coming up, and we'll show you our lack of rainfall, the issue with that, coming up in just a couple minutes.
More trouble for the teen accused of accidentally shooting and killing his 8-year-old brother this summer. The teen will be detained and have another hearing on December the 18th. But if you remember, the 13-year-old was handling a gun with his friends in July when it went off. It hit his brother, Daniel Casares, who died. The teen was charged with manslaughter for that. And when the teen was back in court yesterday for violating 2 conditions of his release, Judge William Cruz Shaw didn't hold back.
From your first time coming to this court and seeing you now, you're trying to harden up. And you're not a gangster at all.
As for the manslaughter case, a hearing is expected on that in January.
Well, this morning, a top official at the Air Force Language School at JBSA Lackland has resigned after social media posts linked him to calls for violence against Muslim protesters in the UK. We're talking about Randall Conrad, who held a leadership role at the Defense Language Institute, who stepped down also last month. The Air Force confirmed his resignation, but did not share why. The posts, which are now deleted, urged firing a machine gun into a crowd of protesters. Well, could $1,000 be given to all newborn babies across the state of Texas? This is an idea that Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is proposing. He believes that there should be a state program to invest $1,000 into the stock market for every baby that's born here in the Lone Star State. This is being modeled off of a federal plan that's created as part of President Donald Trump's tax and spending legislation. He calls it the New Little Texan Savings Fund and says that it would cost about $400 million a year, which is less than 1% of the state's current 2-year budget. The plan is facing backlash, though, from conservatives who say that the program would increase state spending and expand government. Right now, the measure is being proposed to be discussed during the 2027 legislative session. Okay, well, CDC Vaccine Advisory Panel has delayed a key vote on whether to change guidelines for giving the hepatitis B vaccine to newborns. The debate is all centering on whether newborns should still get the vaccine right away, even if a mother tests negative, and whether more data is needed on dosing or timing. That decision is now pushed to later on this morning after what members are calling a long, contentious meeting full of misinformation and conflict. For context, though, hepatitis B infections in children have dropped 99% since newborn vaccinations began back in 1991. Okay, in Pennsylvania this morning, minutes after police approached Luigi Mangione inside a McDonald's, he told them that he didn't want to talk. This is the very latest in this case. Mangione is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a New York street a year ago. He has pleaded not guilty to both state and federal murder charges. Officers kept asking questions inside that McDonald's, though, and he kept answering for nearly 20 minutes before they read him his Miranda rights. And on the anniversary of Thompson's death, United Healthcare lowered flags at its Minnesota's headquarters in his memory.
Hey there, good morning. I'm Patty Santos. Take a look at all these barricades. If you live or work in the downtown area, you're going to see a lot of these. I've been seeing a lot of these near the KSAT station because this weekend is San Antonio Marathon weekend and a lot of closures are going to be happening throughout the area. There's a lot of excitement. The first race, the 5K, it kicks off today. The half marathon and the full marathon, they're going to be happening on Sunday. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, I want to run a marathon today. We're too late. All three races, the 5K, the half marathon, and the full marathon, are completely sold out. San Antonio Sports says more than 18,000 people signed up to participate, and all participants must pick up their race packets at the San Antonio Marathon Health and Fitness Expo. That's going to be located inside the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. Runners must pick up their own packet, so you can't send someone else to do that because they have to provide a photo ID. There's also going to be vendors with running tech, apparel, nutrition, and interactive experiences. The expo is free and it is open to the public, so you can attend that. You just can't run the race. And if you're not running the race, again, the roads are going to be busy because of these closures. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen for more information on road closures and the events that are scheduled. And for the San Antonio Marathon Guide, scan the QR code on the screen right now. On our website, you're going to be able to find information on the races, the events that are taking place, as well again as a road closure and that very important weather forecast. Today, again, the 5K, it starts at 7 tonight. You're going to have about an hour to finish those 3 miles. I'm laughing because I couldn't possibly do that, but good luck to you who are going to be trying to do that. And it's going to start and end near the hemisphere. Reporting live in downtown this morning, I'm Patty Santos. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Patty. And with the temps dropping, obviously the San Antonio Fire Department is right on top of it, reminding everyone to use the space heaters safely. SAFD says that in the last 5 years, space heaters have started several fires in the city, killing at least 2 people. Fire officials say most of those deadly fires happen while people are asleep. And the biggest reminders, plug the heaters directly into a wall outlet, not a surge protector. Make sure there's nothing flammable within 3 to 6 feet. And when you're shopping for one, you need to look for the safety labels like UL or Intertech.
So that's just what you want to look for, because that just means that that this manufacturer has gone through the steps to ensure that this one is safe.
Also, you need to check for the tip-over shut-off switch on the bottom. Most importantly, Arlington says that you need to never sleep with the space heater on.
All right, good advice there. Well, iconic and historic. That's how people have described this live music venue that's now up for sales up the road in New Braunfels.
Yeah, River Road Ice House is for sale for $2.6 million. The event space is at the Ice House is nearly 5 acres. Artists like Josh Abbott Band, Parker McCullum, and the Randy Rogers Band, so many more have performed there. Venue closed after a copyright infringement lawsuit in 2023. And the property listing calls on those who dream of opening a music venue to contact them.
All right, yes, definitely some iconic Texas country out there at the River Road Ice House. So we'll continue to follow that story. Real quick updates on the traffic situation, 35 Olympia Parkway. Now we are starting to see the slowdown here for our drivers on the northeast side of town, basically going through Live Oak, Universal City. So we will keep an eye on this situation. And we're getting some updates here on what's going on 35 over by Rittiman Road. So our folks at TransGuide, they messaged me about 10-15 minutes or so ago. They said that there's an 18-wheeler that stalled off to the side of the road there. So I knew there was something going on, could not locate it. TransGuide, thank you very much for finding this incident for me. So 35, 410, we're seeing some delays out here for our folks. We'll continue to track this and give you more updates as we get him. See if we could get Alex out here to the east to northeast side right there, 35 at 410. Give you more updates as we get them. Justin?
All right, outside with live cam, we are seeing temperatures in the mid-40s right now. Some spotty light showers out there, and we'll see a few throughout the morning hours. This is the setup for next week, and I got to tell you, temperatures are really going to start to warm up. We'll show you how warm it gets as we get into mid-December coming up.
San Antonio, get ready. Houston Street about to light up for like never before. We'll show you the holiday market, dazzling lights, and a special twist on the taste of holidays that you don't want to miss.
All right, we're still seeing some light showers around the area this morning. Most of this is really light, so it's not going to have a big impact on your morning commute. And we'll see it start to come to an end with some warmer weather this weekend and next week. We've got another look at your forecast coming up right around the corner.
Welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio this Friday. Well, it's never too early to spread some Christmas joy.
Yeah, USAA employees and volunteers got together and made, get this, 13,000 stockings for troops, veterans, and those in VA hospitals. Now, the Soldiers Angels nonprofit gets together every year to make these care packages filled with snacks, gloves, and games. And some volunteers even write letters for those who are or were in service. If you would like to take part in the program, you can head to soldiersangels.org for more information.
Also right here, downtown San Antonio, check this out. Houston Street is about to look a lot more lively and festive. This weekend kicks off the 3rd annual Holidays on Houston Street. The first weekend concludes with a newly refined Taste of the Holidays on Houston Street, featuring an elevated catered dinner, buffet, and cocktail experience. This is taking place tomorrow night in front of the Majestic. Over the next 2 weekends, you'll find holiday markets, light displays, family-friendly activities, and a lot of immersive experiences to get you into the holiday spirit.
Here's something to keep the holiday spirit going. Today through Sunday, Seguin holding an event for the community called A Stroll to the Stable. 400 nativity scenes from all over the world going to be on display in one space. You and your family can check them out, walk around, and listen to holiday music at the same time.
Like the star was the second hardest, and the angel, then the most hardest one that I kept getting confused on was the donkey. There's lots of pieces.
I think the things that you like about Christmas is what we're going to find here. So if you come through here, you're going to feel the things that you like about Christmas.
I love it. That's the Christmas spirit. That's what it's all about. It's free and happening at the Nolte building at 101 East in Seguin. Is Nolte? Okay, through Sunday afternoon. You guys can check it out. Of course, again, the holiday is around, and this is just that time of year. Make everybody feel warm inside.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That little boy was super cute.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
About a little nativity scene there. All right, guys. So obviously, traffic. I know a lot of folks are going to be getting ready for a busy weekend, but let's get you an update right here on the east side of town as we take a look there at 35 at 410. This is over by the Bamsey area. So we just checked in again with TransGuide, and they basically told us that there's an 18-wheeler that is stalled. I believe it's on the access road south of Rittiman. So that's going to be an area, a street known as Tejoco Drive. So take a look right here. So that's the situation we're seeing at this moment. That's what we're looking at there, 35 at 410. And I believe Alex Gomez is out in this one particular area. So let's go to Drive Cam right now and see exactly what we're looking at from the ground. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Well, I'm in the area. I'm actually just on the other side of I-35, so I'm making the U-turn to go south of Rittiman. No traffic issues so far that I'm seeing, but I'm going to continue to search the area. But so far, traffic on I-35, the main lanes are still doing pretty good, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Alex. And yeah, the area is kind of called Tejoco Drive, so something that keep in mind for our drivers on the east and northeast sides of town. All right, Justin, got the 5K, the marathon later on this weekend. It's going to be action-packed across the area.
Glad to see that the weather is cooperating. Now, this morning, the Authority radar has shown some light showers, but as I've been saying, these are really light. So we're talking sprinkles, maybe some brief light rain. So far, the roads are dry. We haven't had a whole lot of issues there, but we'll just kind of see these off and on very light showers, I think, over the next several hours. No big deal. It's not going to amount to much at all, but it is chilly out there. 45 degrees at the airport, 44 in Helotes, 41 right now in Bernie. And most places dealing with cloudy skies, so that'll keep temperatures a little chilly this morning. 47 at 10 a.m., 50 noontime, 53 at 2 o'clock. Rain chances really fall off, so we're just looking at cloudy to even mostly cloudy skies by 4 o'clock. We could see some filtered sun later today, which would get temperatures up to 55 or so for a high, which is not bad considering. Futurecast, again, shows some of these light showers. This is 7 o'clock. Maybe through 10 o'clock, but certainly by this evening, that rain moves out of here. And then you see kind of the thinning of the high-level clouds here. It may take until maybe like mid-morning tomorrow for these clouds to officially get out of here. And then we get full sun as we head into Saturday afternoon, which will allow for a beautiful weekend. We'll see temperatures in the 70s on Saturday, probably near 70 on Sunday, too. I'm going to fast forward here to next week. So this is Wednesday, and we kind of see what the setup here is across the country. So there's going to be a lot of cold air across the Northeast, the Great Lakes, the Northern Plains. based on where the jet stream is. But south of that, we're going to get some pretty warm conditions, and that includes here in Texas. Temperatures will go well above average by the middle part of next week. So just be prepared for some warmer weather and rain-free conditions too, which is not a good thing. This is the drought monitor, and we continue to see extreme drought here around San Antonio. It's been that way for years, it feels like now, but we're still there. We're starting to see extreme drought build in a little bit more across our eastern counties, but if not an extreme, most of the areas in severe drought. It has just been a very rough stretch. And I feel like we say this every time we show the drought monitor, but several years now, we just can't seem to get enough rain back into the picture. And I think we are going to end the year with a little bit of a deficit. This is the precipitation outlook for December 12th through December 18th. Not great. Where you see these brown colors, there's a higher likelihood that we'll see below average precipitation. And there's not much in the extended forecast. I'll tell you that. Well, there's none really, other than today, and that again is not going to amount to much of anything. 73 tomorrow, 71 Sunday. We do get a front through, some breezy winds perhaps on Sunday, but next week cooler Monday, but from there it warms up, and yes, we'll be in the 70s by Wednesday and Thursday before another front comes through and cools us down a little bit by next weekend. All right, our Just Ask Justin question has to do with our Dallas Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
I want to know, since 1996, how many times has Dallas made the postseason? This is, of course, they won the Super Bowl in January of 96. So starting with the 96 season, which is 29 seasons worth of football here, not counting this year, how many times have they made the postseason? Is it 6, 9, 13, or 17? We got votes for all of them, but 6? Come on, guys. Come on.
Look at 17. Someone... Well, been very optimistic. Yes.
5:51, guys. 45 degrees outside.
Okay, the Texas Cavaliers, we just talked about this yesterday. A big announcement for next year's River Parade. We're going to give you all the details and show you their brand new medal coming up just a bit.
Okay, top songs on Spotify for 2025.
Pearl Jam, Alive. This is the #1 song.
It's #1, Pink Pony Club.
Is a song called All That Jazz by the band Breathe from the 1980s.
#1 is Miles on It by Marshmello and Kane Brown.
And fun fact, I listened to so much Taylor Swift, and not just one specific song, that none of her songs made it in my top 5.
Okay, my top artists were Olivia Dean, Renee Rapp, Hozier.
All right, Taylor Swift, duh, 2,600 minutes.
#1, Taylor Swift.
SZA, Doja Cat, Drake, and #5 was Megan Thee Stallion.
David Bowie, I don't know where that came from. Baby Lullaby Academy, 371 nap time minutes in the car.
Spotify tells you your listening age, and mine's 50.
Oh no. Listening age 68.
He has such a Santa Claus-like laugh.
That's a great laugh, yeah. There's Wicked, Jeff. I don't even know the Wicked soundtrack.
Oh, yeah. Mine's probably mixed with Michael Jackson, though. I'm still on that Motown.
All right. Well, the Texas Cavaliers ready to a fiesta already. Local teachers Leon McNeil and his wife Letitia will be the grand marshals at next year's River Parade.
And Leon and Letitia are the founders of the local nonprofit City Kids Adventures, an organization where kids, no matter their family's income, can experience wildlife activities. Leon says that his nonprofit was inspired by a camping trip that he took when he was younger. The parade theme will be through the decades, which will highlight the cultural moments of the last century. The 81st Texas Cavaliers River Parade is scheduled for Monday, April 20th.
Yes, and they also unveiled the medal as well. Okay, so coming up at GMSA at 6 o'clock, so we're going to switch some gears here. 911 calls from the Hill Country flooding are set to be made public soon. Some of those calls will be difficult to hear. Our Zaria Oates is standing by live in Kerrville with a first look.
She's very tough. She fights every day.
We got a baby girl enduring up to 200 seizures a day, 7 hospitals. Still no cure, no answers for the little warrior. But as her parents head into the holidays, while they're telling us that their story of strength this morning.
And a quick check of the drive cam. Alex Gomez, photojournalist Alex, on the roads right now. We have an incident. 18-wheeler stalled on the access road south of Riddiman as he kind of pans into that shot right there. We're going to give you all those updates, plus also give you a look at the route for the San Antonio Marathon 5K taking place tonight.